I found out my dad is worth over $10 million, and it's my family's biggest secret. My parents are divorced, and I always thought that my dad was screwed since he ran his family store that saw little success. It struggled to stay open, I thought, for my entire life. I work as an employee there and try to do everything I can to keep it open and lively. I run the social media, installed security cameras, and used my modern knowledge to try my best to keep the store afloat. I ride with my dad to and from work each day, and while we were riding home last Friday, he accidentally spilled the beans about our family's stock market activity. He then went into detail. In the early 1990s, his grandfather, my great-grandfather, invested thousands into Apple, and after seeing returns trading, he invested more and more. It turns out that before I was born, my family bought Apple at its lowest point. We collectively own about 50,000 shares of the company. One Apple share today is worth about $200. If you do the math, we have about $10 million invested in Apple. My great-grandfather is seen as a hero in my family, and I never understood why. I always assumed that it was because he founded the store and was a great guy, but now I know. This $10 million is broken up between my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my great-uncle. My grandma and her brother share an account with about $3 million in it. Both of them have had several health-related issues, but they still live. The account was made decades ago, before the family split. Not going to go into details, but my grandma and great-uncle are at total different ends of the spectrum, and it all comes down to my great-uncle being an awful person for his entire life and treating everyone like he owns them. If one of them dies, the shares go to the other person. And if my grandma dies first, then we are never seeing that money ever again. We severed most of our ties with their side of the family since the hero, my great-grandfather, cause of death was a heart attack, and it is believed by everyone that the reason his heart gave was because my uncle was on the phone with him and dropped some horrible information drilling into my great-grandfather, and he was so upset that he collapsed. And 2 hours after this conversation, he was found at the phone, collapsed, dead. My great-grandma owns about $7 million of the dollars in her account. She is 92 and will likely pass away soon. My uncle believes that the shares will be transferred to his and my grandma's account and will be split. However, my great-grandma signed that all of the shares will be going to my side of the family. When this happens, he is either likely to sue us and give up because there are no legal grounds, then either discommunicate completely or commit suicide. My grandma is currently working on splitting their joint account and taking her $1.5 million. My family doesn't spend much money on vacations or lavish items. All of our vehicles are leased, and this secret is a very serious thing in order to keep us safe from greedy people. I am one of the only people who know about this, and I feel like I am in a weird place. My dad is coaching me on how to trade and dominate the stock market. I am excited to live up to my family's secret legacy, and after learning all of this, I feel lied to, but very happy that money isn't a problem anymore and never has been. Please let me know your thoughts and guidance of what I should do.